In this video, we will look at the Marquee container element, an easy-to-use and versatile element that allows you to create any marquee design pattern you need. We'll start by adding the element from the Add panel. By default, you will see an empty container and you can add any elements inside of it. Before we look at the available settings that we have, let's add some images inside our Marquee container. Once we have our images added, we can see the Marquee effect being applied. Inside the Design tab, under the Container category, the first setting we have is Layout, where we can choose between horizontal and vertical layouts. We'll come back to the Align setting later. We can use the Gap setting to apply a gap between the elements inside the container. We can define a width for the container using the Width setting and a height using the Height setting. Now that we have a static width and height applied, we can more clearly see the effect of the Align setting. The effect of the Align setting depends on the layout being used. When using the vertical layout, the items will be aligned horizontally, and when using the horizontal layout, the items will be aligned vertically. We can also blend the container with the background by applying a fade effect using the Fade Edges setting. The direction of the fade effect is based on the layout setting being used, and we can also control the size of the mask being applied using the Fade Size setting. Under the Animation category, we can define the direction of the animation using the Direction setting and control the speed of the animation using the Speed setting. If we want to have the ability to pause the Marquee animation on hover, we can do so using the Pause on Hover setting. The padding setting also depends on the layout setting being used. When using a horizontal layout, the top and bottom padding are applied, and when using a vertical layout, the left and right padding are applied. With the Marquee container element, you can add any elements you want, and you are not limited to only using the same type of elements either. A common Marquee pattern on modern websites mixes text and images or videos. Using the Marquee container from Elements Hive, you can easily replicate such a pattern. Add a text element inside the Marquee container. Style it accordingly, duplicate it a couple of times, and update the content on the duplicated elements. Add an image or video element, and just as we did for the text elements, we will style it as needed, duplicate it a couple of times, and change the image on the duplicated elements. Then we can style the Marquee container as needed and call it a day. The Marquee container doesn't impose any limitations on you in terms of design and can also be mixed with other features from Breakdance and Elements Hive. You can see some examples in the demo sections available in the design library. You should now be able to create any Marquee pattern you can think of. Don't forget to press that like button and subscribe to be notified of future videos.